Mrs Anyia here. Hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. This is going to be a really short video explaining the steps of long division, which should hopefully help you do some of the problems that have been set for this week. So here our question is 5,832 divided by 18. We need to do long division for this as it's gone past our 12 times table, so we need to do some kind of working out to do it, and we're dividing into a 4-digit number as well. So we first set out our question as we would normally. And what we need to do here is that we need to work out some multiples of 18, as we don't know our 18 times tables, or at least I don't know my 18 times tables off by heart. And we're going to do that at the side, and that will help us do the calculation. So our first multiple of 18 is going to be 1 times 18, which is 18. And then our second multiple of 18, which we're going to do 18 times 2, which is doubling 18, is 36. Then here we might get a bit stuck, not sure how to work out the third multiple, so we could either add mentally and partition, so we could just add another 10, add another 8 and keep on doing that, or there's no problem in just doing a really quick short multiplication at the side so that we get to an answer of 54. And so that's our third multiple. Some of you might be able to do some mental additions really quickly in your head or times tables, so that you know that if the second multiple is 36, then you can work out the fourth multiple just by doubling that. So doubling 36, getting you an answer of 72. And then let's do the fifth multiple now. So looking at 18 times 5, again, we could add another 18, or nothing wrong with doing a really quick short multiplication at the side, getting us to an answer of 90. I tend to do about 5 at the start, and then add if we need to any more as we go along. So let's go back to our original question, and we're going to look at first how many times does 18 go into 5? Well, 5 is smaller than 18, so we can't get any multiples out of that, so that's a 0. And then we're going to look at the next 2 digits. So we're looking at 58. So how many times does 18 go into 58? So now I look at my times table list that I've already done, and I'm going to notice that the fourth multiple gets me to 72, which is bigger than 58. So that's no good. So we're going to go to the previous one before that, which is the third multiple, and that's 54. So we're going to write the multiple number above the line here, making sure we keep our place value positions. And then we're going to take away 54. So we're going to actually take away 54 from that number. Yep, carry out that subtraction. And then that leaves us with 4. So now that we've done the 5 and we've done the 8, we're going to now move to the next digit, and we're going to bring down that 3. Yep, so we're going to bring down that 3 to make 43. So now we're looking at how many times does 18 go into 43. So again, I go back to my times table list down here, and I note that 36 is the closest multiple I get without going past 43. So I'm going to take away 36, and remembering that is my second multiple, so I must write that above the line as well. And then we're going to carry out that calculation, leaving us with 7. And then similarly, I've done the 3 now. I'm going to move to my next digit, which is a 2. So I'm going to bring down that 2, making 72. So now I'm looking at how many times does 18 go into 72. So then I go back to my multiple list, and I notice I've actually got 72 in my working out, which means I know I'm not going to have any remainders in this problem. So then we're going to take away that multiple. So we're going to take away the fourth multiple, remembering to write that 4 at the top, and we're going to take away 72, which we know is going to leave us with 0. And that means I can't go any further, and I've worked out the answer. So the number that is on the top of that line, write it really clearly for you to see, is 324. So that is the answer to our problem. Hopefully that was really clear for you to see. And again, some of you might not need to do this bit because you can work it out in your head. Some of you might need to do little modifications for each one. Absolutely fine. As long as you go back to the original question and you're taking away the nearest multiple each time. We're going to have a look at another problem next, this time one that has remainders. Okay, so now we're going to look at another question, but this time it's going to have a remainder, and let's see how we deal with that now. So we're going to write out the question just as we did before. So our 15 goes on the outside, number we're dividing to in the inside. And we're going to need to work out some multiples of 15. Okay, so we're going to go back over to this side of our page, and we're going to know that our first multiple of 15, 1 times 15 is 15. Our second multiple, we just need to double 15, so 2 times 15 is 30. Again, we could just continue to add on 15 each time, which we can do quite easily because 15 is an easy number to add. Or we could do some short multiplications at the side. I'm just going to add this time. So we're going to add another 15, so that's going to be 45. And then my fourth multiple, again, I know I just doubled my second multiple, so that's going to get me to 60. So 4 times 15 is 60. And then my fifth multiple, adding another 15, is going to get me to 75. And I'm going to pause there with my 15 times tables, and I can always add if I need some more in a moment. So then we're going to go back to our number. So we're going to have a look at how many times does 15 go into 7. So we're going to start here. Can't do that, so we're going to put a 0. So then we're going to have a look at how many times does 15 go into 73. So we look at our multiple list again, and we're going to notice that the fourth multiple is the nearest we can get without going over. So we're going to write the 4 up here, and we're going to take away 60. So we're going to take away 60 from that number, and that is going to leave us with 13. Okay, so now we're going to move to our next digit, which is the 7. So we need to bring that down next to our 13 that we have left over, and that's now going to make 137. So we're now going to look at how many times does 15 go into 137. But now I look at my working out I did earlier, and I think I need to work out a few more multiples of 15, which is absolutely fine because I can use some of those tricks we did earlier to do to work out some higher multiples. So for example, if I know that 4 lots is 60, and I'm trying to get to 137 here, so I'm going to double that one to work out the 8th multiple, and so double 60 is 120. So this way I squash some of the working out I didn't need to do. So I'm going to see now, let's work out the 9th multiple by adding 15 to this number, which is 135, and that is pretty close to the number that we have here. So we're going to take away 135 from our number, remembering to put that it's the 9th multiple up here. Yep, and we're going to carry that out, and we're going to be left with 2 when we do that calculation, when we do that subtraction. And so then we go back to our original number. We've already done the 7, the 3, and the 7 here, so we're now left with the 0. So we're going to bring that 0 all the way down next to our 2 to make 20. So now I'm looking at how many times does 15 go into 20. Again, I go back to my times table list, and it's the first multiple there. So we are going to take away the first multiple, which is 15, and that is going to leave us with 5. Okay, and then I think, what? I don't have any more numbers to bring down. I can't make any 15s from the 5, so that means I finished. The only thing here is, as I didn't get to 0, that means I'm going to have a remainder. I have some left over that I can't divide into. So my answer is still at the top of this line. So my answer is 491, and I have a remainder of 5. But rather than just writing a little r and a 5, we're going to express this as a fraction. So whatever you have left that you can no longer divide into becomes your numerator of your fraction, the top number of your fraction. So we're going to write a small 5 over here, and we're going whatever we were dividing by is going to be our denominator. So that is going to be 15. Yeah, so the answer is 491 and 5/15. Now, some of you might notice that could definitely be simplified, as they're both multiples of 5 themselves. So we could actually write that as a third. Yeah, might do another video about simplifying fractions another time. But there we go. So hopefully all that should help you solve some of your problems. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put one more question up on the board, and I'm going to hopefully allow you to pause the video and see if you can do it on a bit of paper by yourself with a parent's help, and then I'll give you the answer in a moment. So 1 second, and we're going to put one more question up. Okay, so now I want you to try and have a go by yourself or with a parent that can help you, or an older sibling maybe. So the question I want you to have a go with is 9,352 dividing by 21. So I want you to pause the video here and give yourself some time to work it out. Once you've got an answer, unpause the video and I'll show you the actual answer. Make sure you pause and no cheating. Back in a second. Guys, hopefully you've had a try of doing that problem yourself. I'm going to show you my answer. Make sure you don't cheat. And so here it is. So following the steps, you should have got to an answer of 445 and a third. Again, if you got to 445 and 7/21, also fine. If you didn't, if you made any mistakes, just have a look at my example. You might pause the video and have a look yourself, and check if you might have an error in your multiples, or you might have made a mistake in some of your taking away. So just have a look there, or maybe rewind back, have a look at one of the other videos as well, one of the other problems. Hopefully that explains everything to you, and hopefully you should have no problem accessing some of the work that you're set for this week. This is Mrs Anyia signing out. See you soon. Bye.